Okay, this is going to be a very complex how-to.
Hey, look at this. You have a camper shower and you want to replace it. It's really easy. See that shower? There's your shower head. There's your faucet, your valves. You can replace this part of it just by unscrewing here. You can replace the whole hose and shower head. Sometimes these get cracked. You know, sometimes they're cheap, and this one was kind of cheap and cracked, and I just replaced it with a little better quality. It was a plastic kind that come with a camper. Unfortunately, they put a lot of junky things in these campers. But you have to have access to this, and undoubtedly you will find an access panel behind here. You see that? So this is what I found. And a little access panel and a hole big enough to stick my hand through. And I can cut that hole bigger if I need to, but I don't really need to. Let me show you. If you happen to have something like this where they've actually built a wall over it and you don't have access behind, you know, sometimes they might replace a wall and forget to leave an access panel. Well, you just cut one. You just carefully, you know, don't cut very deep because you don't want to hit pipes or wires, but just cut out a little piece, and then you can cut out a bigger piece once you locate everything. You see where everything is. But let's take a look at what we got here. That is very simple, okay? All that is, this is for those of you who don't know plumbing, all right? But all that is, those are retainer rings. They're just the little lock rings that screw onto the valve, the back of the stem, and lock that in place. And then this forward adjuster is just the part that screws onto the pipe. You know, that's the part of the elbow that screws onto the threaded valve. So let me get the new one and I'll show you what it is. All right, so I ordered one from eBay or Amazon. I don't know. It was like 15 bucks. You see how you have the threaded plumbing for your valves? Very simple. And these are little rings that screw on from the back. They're the locking rings that lock them on. And they fit right on there like that. You see, now we're going to take them off and we're going to get everything out of here and put this new fixture in place. I'm hoping it's the same shape so we don't have a weird discolored ring around it. It's reasonably close, but I just wanted to replace it because these are so messy and old and discolored. It's nice to clean your place up every once in a while, make it look fresh and renovated. And in fact, the person who did the cleaning didn't really clean that, did they? So we need to address that because this is a rental property and I want it to look nice. So now I have turned my water off outside. Oh. Okay, now I'm going to unscrew the supply lines. So I'm on the left side now. I can't really get the camera in there for you to see what I'm doing, but it's pretty obvious. You don't want to lose these pipes, but they generally should kind of hang out in the vicinity where you need them. But before you release them with your hands, you might make sure they're not, you know, loose enough to fall into a crevice somewhere where you can't reach them. But there again, you can make this hole bigger and get your whole arm in there if you need to. You don't want to mix up the hot and the cold. So that's actually something I should have checked. I don't remember if these are properly labeled, but we'll see. Okay, now there's the other one. So that's the one on the left and that's the one on the right. Okay, now is that making more sense? Definitely want to turn your water off before you start this project. Now I'm going to pull those rings off of there. I'm just going to back these off counterclockwise. Okay, and then I should be able to just pull my fixture off from the other side. And I'm going to, you know, take the shower head and put it on the new one once I'm done with this part. Okay, now I've taken the retainers off of there. Et voila. That looks like the same shape, doesn't it? And I can clean this area if I can find some cleaner. And it's really good to do that while you have this off of there. And put the new one on. I just have to take this hose, shower head hose off, and install it on that one. So you got to have some Teflon tape or some paste to put on your threads so that you don't have leaks. All right. Now I have freed my hose, see, from the other faucet fixture, and I put some Teflon tape on here. You want to put 3 or 4 revolutions because Teflon tape's very thin. But again, that seals those threads so they don't leak. Now I'm going to reattach. Also, let me point out that you do have a rubber washer in here. I like to put the Teflon tape on anyway, but that washer will pretty much keep this from leaking. But again, we're going to give it some backup here. And now would be a good time, if you have a spare rubber washer, to replace it. All right, now that's in place, and I'm going to go on the back side and screw in the retainers. Okay, the little nylon nuts. All right, now that one's on. I recommend taking your time and ensuring that you don't cross thread anything. Also, when you're moving around in here, you see this fiberglass? You can really cut your hands up if you're moving too quickly. I don't generally wear gloves unless I absolutely need to, because I'm very tactile. I like to feel what I'm working on. But wear gloves, or just watch out for, sharp objects, especially in these recesses like this. All right, so that one's on. I'm going to put the other one on, and then I'm going to reattach the supply lines. Right. Let's revisit this real quick before we move on, and that is to reiterate that you don't always need Teflon tape. A lot of these modern fixtures are rubber against plastic. In other words, they have seals or gaskets or rubber washers that make the fixture leak free without the use of Teflon tape. And a lot of guys will tell you, don't put Teflon tape if everything is already made to seal properly with a seal of some sort. But I'm a creature of habit, and I like this as a backup. All right, so just check how things go together, and if you see that it's meant to seal without tape, don't use it. But check your work. If you're new to these kind of plumbing and electrical chores around homes and campers, I would offer a final caveat, and that is, just check your work. And in this case, I went in there with a dry paper towel and dried everything, because there's going to be a little seepage from the water that's in the pipe even after you turn the water off. So I dry everything real well, and then I go back in with my hand and I feel around, or with another paper towel, to see if there's any water still coming out, and that means you have not screwed everything together properly. And that's very important to do, because especially in a camper like this, it might sit vacant for months at a time. And many people have come and found rotted out floors because it's been leaking for months. I like to turn, in the off season, we turn the water off to the campers, but make damn sure you turn your water heater off first. So, and there you go. I'm going to put this back together. Also, hire a pro if you're uncomfortable. Just remember, you don't have to do everything on your own, and sometimes it pays to hire someone who is knowledgeable. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe.